With Marvel's Spider-Man 2 being one of the most anticipated games of 2023, I thought I'd compile a wishlist of features, characters and other changes I'd love to see when the game finally gets released. If by the end of this video there are any things you would love to see included in the game but I haven't mentioned, then why not leave a comment below? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get stuck in. So first up, I'm going to talk about side quests and how they can be improved. So in the first game and then the Miles Morales game, we had a bunch of side missions which I thought just seemed a little flat. Sure, I completed them all, and of course you need to have your friendly neighbourhood Spider-Man objectives, but I just couldn't help but think they were a little repetitive and could have been just that little bit better and more interesting. So it's rumoured that the Lizard is going to be in Spider-Man 2, so you could have side story missions with Peter investigating a series of strange goings on in the underground and in the sewers, with the inevitable end boss battle being against the Lizard. And equally we could see Kingpin escape the raft and start going after Miles' family and friends, as he alluded to in the Miles Morales spin-off game. And what about other possible side stories with other MCU heroes based in New York, such as Daredevil and perhaps Luke Cage? We could team up with them and fight off some of their villains amongst other things. Also, some of the puzzles like the Batman Arkham games had, not specifically the Riddler ones because there were a lot of those, but something like that could be added into the game and you could have to solve these as either Peter or Miles, minus the suit, or perhaps Mary Jane. No doubt there'll be some repetitive collectible missions again, but as long as there aren't a ridiculous amount of them and there is a wide variety, I think we'll be all good. So as I just mentioned, one thing I'd absolutely love to have included in the next iteration of Spider-Man games is including some of the other New York-based MCU heroes. There are many of them with the likes of Luke Cage, Daredevil, Doctor Strange, Iron Man from time to time, amongst others, and not to mention there is also an Avengers Tower in the original and Miles Morales games. Why don't we get to include some of the Avengers on just a minor scale? I think this would greatly do the story some good, or other side stories to the game. What do you guys think? Next up, we all know there are a whole raft of villains in the Spider-Verse and of course the wider MCU, so I'd love to see some extra villains added into the second iteration of the game. And of course we're going to see Venom and Kraven the Hunter, but I'd absolutely love Insomniac to introduce other ones like the Green Goblin, also known as Spider-Man's arch enemy, along with some others who I think would have great boss battles like the Sandman, Mysterio, Wraith and so on. I'm going to be doing a full breakdown on villains we will see and who we could see in the game, so make sure you stick around my channel for that in the very near future. I would also absolutely love to see some changes, or at very least improvements to the map from the previous two games. Now don't get me wrong, Insomniac have done a fantastic job of bringing New York to life in both Spider-Man and Miles Morales at Christmas time, but I just think, especially with this being a PS5 exclusive, they could stretch technical capabilities just that little bit more. It could be improved. So there are a couple of things with the map I would like to see, like Queens and Brooklyn being explorable areas, the ability to visit the Statue of Liberty, having more pedestrians and things going on around the city to make it feel a bit more immersive, and perhaps even a separate map with one of the main story quests. I will be doing a full breakdown of things I would add or change to the existing map, so make sure you're subscribed for that video. It'll be coming out very soon. Now, we know full well that Venom is going to be playing a large part of Spider-Man 2, and it's most likely going to be Harry Osborn who is Venom, and there's one thing I would love, and that would be to have Venom as a playable character at some point during the game. Can you imagine how much fun that would be? My prediction, we could get to take control of Harry for a short time while he's getting used to his being Venom once he's left that green tank of his where he was for the duration of the events from the first game and Miles Morales. Alternatively, we could see the infamous symbiote take over Peter at some point, so we get to play as symbiote Spider-Man and Miles could be the one trying to rescue him, meaning we could see a fight between the two. I think this would be pretty darn awesome feature to have in the game. What do you guys think? Moving on, it's basically guaranteed that we're going to be playing as both Peter and Miles in the next game, so what I'd love to have is a similar sort of character switch mechanic to that of the one used in Grand Theft Auto 5, where we could change characters as and when we please, and then join them in whatever they're doing at the time. Doing it this way also means in theory we could see either Peter or Miles roaming around the map fighting crime when you're playing as the other one. Sadly though, I don't think this is how they're going to do it, but you never know. I will be going into more depth with the options they have for character switching in another video shortly, so make sure you stick around my channel for that. Next up, let's talk about Spidey suits. I did love the variety of suits we got in both original games and the Miles Morales spin-off, but what I would really love to see in the sequel is the ability to make your own custom suits. This could include us tweaking things like the visuals, colours, adding various spider patterns and other similar things to our suits, along with the different power-ups and gadgets each suit can have. I really do think this is a great addition that Insomniac could add to the next game. And sticking with suits still, I would also like to see more wear and tear on the suits once you've been fighting crime and other bosses rather than it just get added in cutscenes. I mean, it's not like the suits are totally indestructible and all that swinging and fighting will take its toll on the suits themselves. We could also have tech parts and gadgets broken in fights, especially boss fights where we need to fix them afterwards before then getting into yet another fight. What do you guys think of this? Would you like to have it as is, or do you think it would be a good idea? It could possibly become a pain fixing your suit all the time, I do get that. I know this one might be unlikely, but I think it'd be pretty darn awesome nonetheless, and that is to add first person view when swinging through the map. How awesome would that be? With the likely visual upgrades we're going to be getting in the game being a PlayStation 5 exclusive, it would look so darn good on a 4K TV, and it would probably be doable on a PS5. Do you like the ability to have it in first person just swinging around, or do you prefer third person only? And finally, as I mentioned before, I would love to be able to get to the Statue of Liberty. I'm actually really surprised I didn't have this in either the first game or the Miles Morales spin-off. I suppose getting there could be tricky as it's all over water, but what if we had a mission where we could swing from a helicopter and it would take us over there, and from then on we can fast travel from there. Or alternatively, there is a Peter Miles story when they are visiting the Statue of Liberty as a tourist and they catch something going on, so they have to suit up, and again from there we can then fast travel to it. I really think the Statue of Liberty should be added as an accessible location in the new game. And that, folks, is my main wishlist for the upcoming Spider-Man sequel game. Are there any things I've missed that you would love to see in the game? And if there are, let me know in the comments below what you'd love to see added or indeed changed from the old games. And also, if you're still here, it would be totally awesome if you could hit those like and subscribe buttons. And as always, thank you for watching and catch you next time.